video I want to show you how just a few simple licks can get you soloing over any blues, major or minor, fast or slow. The way it's going to work is I'm going to show you 3 licks and then we're going to look at soloing over 3 different backing tracks using them. What I hope you'll see is that when you're improvising, it's really useful to have anchor licks that you know really well, so you're guaranteed to play something decent. Of course then you can break out from there, but you can get a full solo from quite little material when you need to. Anyway, let's get into the licks. So lick number 1 is going to look like this. Now all these licks are going to be based around the first position minor pentatonic. I'll show them in E minor here, but then we'll move them around the neck to other keys once we get playing with the track later. So just to remind ourselves, the E minor pentatonic, starting at the 12th fret, looks like this, of course. So that's going to be the basis for all the licks. Anyway, back to what I was playing. So we're starting at the 14th fret here on the G string with a full bend up. And then the B string at the 12th fret, and then barring over to the high E and playing that at the 12th fret also, and then back to the B string. Now we want those notes to ring out together because that creates a much more sophisticated sound. So far we've got this bend, and then our little bar, and then end with another full bend at the 15th fret of the B string this time, which gets us back up to our root note of E. So all together. One of the great things about a lick like this is you can repeat parts of it as many times as you like. This might be as simple as playing the bend on the end twice, like that, or repeating up to there multiple times before then playing that bend on the end like this. Now this makes it really flexible, and you'll see this throughout all 3 licks that we look at here. Then lick number 2 is going to look like this. So this time we're starting at the 16th fret on the G string and playing that together with the 15th on the B string. Now what we want to do is slide into those 2 notes and play them 3 times. You can kind of strum across them a little bit. Now this double stop here is going to really up the sophistication because we're targeting the 7th of the scale. A really nice crunchy blues sound. So strum those 3 times and then slide back to the 14th on the G string and pull off to the 12th. And then 14th on the D string, and then play as another double stop 12 and 12 on the G and B strings together, and then we can just push them up a little bit, slightly sharp, and then back to 14 on the D string there. All together. Then if we want to get more mileage from this lick, this first double stop, we can play that as many times as we like and keep sliding into it. That kind of thing. Then finally, lick number 3. So with this one, we're going to be targeting this blue note here at the 13th fret on the A string, which is an extra note we can add to our pentatonic to give it some more blues feel. Like that. So what we're going to be playing is 13 on the A, hammer onto 14, and then 12 on the D. And this gives us these 3 notes, which we can then loop as many times as we like. But then to stop us getting in an infinite loop, there's a couple of get out notes, as I'd call them, on the end, which are going to be 14 on the D string, 12 on the G string, with a little push up on that one, and back to 14 on the D string. So we've got 2 parts, this loop, and then our get out notes. So either we can play the loop just once, or as many times as we like, making this a really useful lick. Just to recap, lick 1, 2, and 3. So that's the 3 licks. Now let's take a look at the first solo, which is a medium pace shuffle in E major. let's just break down a few things going on here. So the track's in the key of E major, where the chords are E, A and B, but we're still going to be using this E minor pentatonic position as the starting point for our licks, because using this minor scale over the major chords really brings out that extra bluesy feel. As soon as I play a major chord and then hit a lick in that position, you really hear that blues coming through. In terms of how I use the licks, I'm mostly focused on lick 1, but try to mix it up a bit, and a few things you saw me doing. In particular, I started playing it like that, but then the second time, using it twice, and what that does is moves this root note bend to a stronger beat. So when I play it once, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, with this coming on the 3, but if I play it twice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, I get this right on that 1, that strong beat, and that's a really useful thing to do. The other thing you saw me doing was this first bend in one place. I think I did something like that, a bit more slow bending to kind of make it cry a bit. You will have seen me playing lick 3, quite long like that, to cover the whole of the 4 chord in bars 5 and 6, showing how one simple lick can cover quite an extended time period within your solo. And then at the end, I think I put all 3 licks together, starting with lick 3, but a shortened version, and then lick 2, ending with lick 1 on that big bend up to the root note to finish us off. For the next solo, let's up the pace with a straight rock and roll feel in G major. So now we've moved into G major, so I'm moving all the licks down to the G minor pentatonic position, starting here at the 3rd fret. Of course, with this one, we can also play it up here at the 15th fret and even blend the two together, but for now I'm just staying down here to keep it nice and simple. Now, as this track has a straight rock and roll feel rather than a blues shuffle, I'm adjusting the rhythm of the licks a little bit in places to help them fit. So I started again with lick 1. But now instead of playing it as where I've got that 1, 2, 3 happening on those B and high E strings, I'm just playing bend and then B, high E, and that's kind of the end of the lick there. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the rhythm of it. And also, rather than just trying to pick out those notes really carefully individually, I can just kind of strum across them. You know, with this style, we want it to feel a bit rough, a bit on the edge, so don't need to be that careful with the picking, just really get at the notes. Then later you saw me using lick 2 in quite a haphazard way, this kind of thing. You know, there, I'm just kind of strumming at it and feeling out the rhythm, just trying to give the track some energy and make it fit. And then on the 5 chord, into lick 3 to get that in there as well. Then let's take a look at a slower track, this time in B minor. For this last track, we're in the key of B minor, so we're going to move all these licks to the position of the B minor pentatonic, which starts here at the 7th fret. Now for blues in a major key, you generally get the choice between playing in major or minor scales, but for a minor key, you're always going to use the minor scale. Now I'm mostly focused on lick 2 here, but because this is a slower track, rather than just playing it like that, which doesn't really have much energy in it, I kind of played it where I'm using this kind of tremolo picking, or a tremolo strumming I guess, just playing both strings quite fast and then sliding back into that position. And then really you can do that for as long as you need to until you feel it's time to come back into the rest of the lick to finish it off. But really, the whole solo was kind of based around that idea. I think I used lick 3 very sparingly at one point, just as an extra fill, that kind of thing. And then lick 1, went into that nearer the end, just to lift the solo a bit by moving higher up the guitar, but really it was all based around that lick 2. So thanks for watching. If you want to practice with the tracks, there'll be a link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.